everybody, I'm the Punk with the Camera, and today we're going to be showing you some really cool things about CDs and the DIY ways to get them made. This is an album by Sharp Knives that they sent to me, and I'm really excited to say that we're going to actually be giving out 200 of these copied CDs from the ones that we're making today into all of our future orders, so please, if you buy anything on our store, you'll probably find one of these bad boys. Otherwise, I think it's free on Bandcamp right now. But I'm going to be cutting this video into 3 parts, I believe, which should include how to make the images look good on Photoshop so that way they fold properly, what we're going to buy, and how to fold them. And everything is going to be pretty quick into sections, and you can pause at any time. But for right now, let's go get into the first part right here on the computer, and I'll tell you more. Okay, so I'm in Photoshop, and you can see I have my front and my back labeled both in red and blue, and it's really simple. All we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop and use the size tool. So I'll start with my cover, and my cover is really close to the actual size of the front, but you see a little bit is wrong on the bottom right here where a little bit of the red shows through. The good news is Photoshop has really good guides, and boom, you can use the purple and the green little icons that come up in the lines that are super tiny, but they help align everything. And I think my back cover photo is really big if I remember. Yep. So if I hold down Shift, it'll drag with it. Otherwise, we're just dragging to the actual size of it. If you see the green line right there is aligned in that top left corner, that means it's pretty good there. Then I'll drag this until I get it to clip, and then this one will also just pop in, and boom, we have prepared this. Now a CD is 4.75 inches across, and that's actually the size that we're dragging to, and you'll see why that's important later. For now, I'm just going to export this as a PNG, no, a Photoshop document, and name it whatever I want. This one's just called Sharp Boys Final. And yeah, we're gonna pop into part 2 now, so watch the videos. Okay, so before we go into part 3, I want everyone to stop and look into the description of this video. You'll find a Google Drive link with all of the assets as well as the finished version, how it's gonna look like. And I want you to go ahead and practice this first part in Photoshop or whatever photo editor you have. And as soon as you feel comfortable, pop back into the video. We're going to go into part 3, which is going to be talking primarily about the economics of purchasing in bulk and what we're going to purchase to keep our unit costs down, as well as, you know, just in general, relatively available cheap options for printing. So go ahead and practice a little bit, come back for the rest of the video, and we'll be talking about what we're buying. Okay, y'all, so we're on part 3 now, and it's all about what we're purchasing to make our unit cost as low as possible on our final product of our CD, paper sleeve album. So I'm over here on my computer right here, and I'm going to show you some purchasing options for blank CDs, and I'll show you what I buy as well as some other alternatives, and talk about why it's more important to buy in bulk and how it will save you a ton of money in the long run. So I right here have 3 quickly searched up blank CD options. This first one is from like an actual blank CD media supply company, and it looked like a pretty good deal. You know, 600 blank CDs for $159. So if we were to take 159 and divide it by 600, you know, the unit cost right there is 27 cents. That seems pretty great, right? You know, like 600 CDs. Well, let's keep looking at a couple others. We have things like this right here, which is 100 blank CDs for $26.5. So if we were to put $26.50 divided by 100, the unit costs on that would be about 27 cents. They're actually identical. There is no difference from purchasing this bulk one to this one. And now I'm on Amazon with this one right here with Smart Buy, which is 1,000 blank CDs at $151.89. And you will really see the difference here. So if we did $151.89 divided by 1,000, we would notice that our unit cost has dramatically decreased to 15 cents rather than, if rounded, 27 cents. And what this is since we're buying in bulk, they're actually able to decrease the value of everything. So that'll increase our unit costs. Is it going to be more expensive? Yes. We're going to spend $152 on blank CDs, but you're talking like probably a year's supply, depending on your popularity, a month or 2 of playing live shows or selling on your online store. And this is a great way to go. So I would try to figure out what is going to be the cheapest available option for you on blank CDs, preferably buy in bulk if you have the budget for it. But let's pop over to printing our actual paper CDs that will be going in with our burned copies. Well, there's 2 roads I would ask you question before you head down them. First of all, are you a college student? I don't know if this is across the board, but one trade-off of paying, frankly, way too much for tuition is free printing. At my campus, I have one color printer and like 200 black and white printers, and I can print a 2,000-page book if I wanted to. I could just print the loose leaf copy of something. And that is an awesome advantage if you're going to be getting into something like this to where you're going to be printing a lot. Otherwise, I'd highly recommend something like Office Max, because they always have a 20% off coupon for the entire cart, and their unit price per printed is really cheap. So let me show you real quick. I'm on the main website right here, and all I'm going to do is go to Services and Copies. I wanted to include something like this in our zine video, but it was already really long. But this is where we're at now. So the copy is loaded up, and we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna bring us over to a page right here, and this is what it looks like. From this page, you can decide if you want it to be black and white, double-sided. So for this one, we're just doing full color, single sides. But basically, all I'm gonna do is go into where I saved that PDF that we made in the earlier part of the episode, and I'm gonna upload it right here. I'm gonna let it go through all the way.
One eternity later.
Okay, that took like 10 minutes. Advantages of having internet and living in the sticks. But anyways, when it pops up, it'll actually show you what your design will look like. Ours was a transparent PDF where the only color was actually, the images of the artwork. So everything else will just print white. And so full color. I said I'd make 200 of them for the shop, and that's $88. So I'll add this to cart, and we're not going to pay $88 for the 200 of these because, like I said, a reason why I get my printing done at Office Depot is, well, one, it's relatively cheap for what's available, and two, they're kind of like Joann's Fabrics, where there's always like a 20 or a 30 or a 40% off coupon, and I actually have that coupon pre-saved, so as my shopping cart pops up, I can just put it in and see how far it dropped us off. So we went from $88 to $76.21. So if we did $76.21 divided by 200, we're at $38 cents plus our 15 cents. So our unit cost per CD is going to be about $2.25. It's a little bit higher than I guesstimated, but if you're less than $1 on your actual purchases, give it away for free. If we're making all of these CDs for 52 cents a pop, and you're gonna go to a show and try to forcefully sell it for like, I don't know, $2 to $10 depending on who you are, give those for free, because there's probably gonna be that kid out there who didn't have any money but fell in love with your band, and it will make the world to them when you say, hey, this is free. And you can comfortably say, hey, this is free whenever it's only costing you 50 cents anyways. What's the difference between giving out like 50 free CDs at 50 cents a pop versus, trying to give away or trying to sell CDs that might cost like $4 to $10 of unit cost, depending on how well and professionally you made it made. We're gonna make this in paper. So now we know what we need to purchase, and now that we know how the artwork looks and we can actually get everything together, let's move on to burning the CDs and assembling the product. Alright, so for the third part, now we know what to purchase. We're gonna just need to burn our CDs. For this, I have a USB CD burner and a white CD blank that has nothing on it, and my computer. Those are the three components I need. And let's go ahead and pop over to the screen capture, and I'll show you the program that I use to burn everything. Okay, so I'm assuming by now that you've attached your USB drive, or if you're lucky enough, you actually have a CD or DVD drive attached to your computer, and you just have to plop your blank CD in there. Now I'm using iTunes, and what I'm doing is I'm just creating a playlist right here on the side. You can do that by hitting, right-clicking and hitting New Playlist, naming it whatever you want. For this example, I'll just do Sharp Knives 2. And I can actually take everything, if this was just the only thing that was in my iTunes thing, I could drag it in and make sure that it lines up perfectly, tracks 1 to 5 over here. And all I'd have to do is, once I made sure that that information was right, I'd hit File and Burn Playlist to Disk. And in about a minute to 2 minutes, depending on the length of your CD, you would have a burned CD, and you would be ready to fold it into your DIY pamphlet that we just printed out, and we could go from there. But if you have a little bit extra money and you want to make this process much quicker than doing 2 minutes per CD, which could be very time consuming, let me show you something really cool about CD duplication. Okay, so what I have right in front of me is not a computer. It's actually a CD duplicator. And what it is, it has a master unit on top, a control unit, followed by an array of drives. Now this drive has 5 in it, but it can have up to 7 if you go out and choose to buy your own. And you can find these on eBay and pawn shops and Goodwills for relatively pretty cheap. Sometimes on eBay though, I will say they seemed a little bit scalped on their prices. I was very fortunate enough to get this one for free, but basically it's the same concept of doing it one at a time with your regular computer, but instead of doing it one at a time, on this unit I can do 5. I've seen others that can do up to 10 to 12, and I think that's really cool. So if you think that you're gonna go out there and you're gonna do this a bunch, I'm gonna warm it up right now, this will speed everything up. So let's let this warm up and I'll show you how simplistic this truly is. Okay, now it's all completely warmed up, it's ready to go, and what I'll do is I have my master up here and my 5 copies, and I will open them up one at a time and put in my copy blank units. And then on drive 1, I'll put in my master. And then all I do is on my control unit on the second drive right here, I'm just gonna hit enter, and it'll automatically copy it for me. And the amount of time that it would take to do a normal 1-to-1 copy, it will do 5 of them. And I think that's super cool. So I'm gonna let this run, and then we're immediately going to go over and do the assembly on the CDs and show you how to make the final product. Okay, so let's plop our paper down and get to work. First things first, the first thing you should always do is make sure you write your band's album and name onto it. If you mess that up, well, it's going to be really confusing if you ever lose the paper CD. Also, it's very important to make sure you actually know how to spell your album, but more on that later. Okay, so once we've properly spelt everything, we need to make sure that the CD length is the same size of what we printed. It should be 4.75 inches and match up to the edges all the way across. Once we know that's right, flip it upside down, and we're going to stop on one edge where the white meets the color of the paper and fold over. And then we'll do it on the same thing on the other side. Now, once we've done that, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you that there is 3 parts, the blank, the A, and the B. Now, whenever we put our CD, we're going to fold it down to the B and flip over. That'll show the A on the other side and have that white on top right there. From there, we flip the white over, just like so, and we're going to make ever so small little triangles, as you see right here, and that's going to help us tuck it into the CD, and after that, we will have our completely finished project. Sometimes I have a little bit of mistakes on putting this together, but as you see, look here, the CD is done, it's presentable, the A and B is good, all the artwork lines up, and it's really easy to pull this thing in and out of the CD. Okay, so that was everything from taking a JPEG and turning it into a CD blank to what to purchase and how to fold them together so that way you can give them out for free at shows. So I highly advise, if it only costs you 52 cents to make a CD like this in color, give it out, especially if it's going to be even cheaper in black and white. It'll make a real big difference, and I always say if you have something that's less than $1, give it away for free, and I've been doing that for 5 years and it's taken me really far, made some really cool friends out of it, and it's, you know, it's really just makes people happy, and it's super cool, especially whenever you're starting out and you need to get your word out there. Nothing is better than, you know, just giving your CD out for free. So know that these are all available on our store. Any order for the next 200 orders will have a CD in it, even international ones. And if at any point you need anything from the video, know that in the description below there is the assets from the start to the finished products to check your place on it. You can rewatch the video, and I highly anticipate that you should, to get better and do better. And if you have any new ideas about merchandise that you'd like for us to try out, send us a DM on Instagram, comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and check out our Patreon if you really like to support us. But this has been The Punk with a Camera, and another DIY merch episode about paper CDs. So have a great one out there, please be safe, and let's keep doing things DIY.